guys, today I'm going to show you how to repot this lovely Boston Fern here in 5 super easy steps. Okay, so here's my Boston Fern. I've had this little guy for about a year now, and he's doing pretty good. I've been pretty happy with him, but I have been needing to repot him for a little while now. And so I'm finally getting around to it, and bonus tip, here's a quick little bonus tip, to know when it's time to repot your Boston Fern, first is if it's drying out too quick. Like if you have to water it more than like once a day outdoors or like a couple times a week indoors, then you're probably watering it too much, like it's drying out too fast, which means it needs to go into more soil or a bigger pot. Or number 2 is if you can see the roots on top of the soil. If you're starting to see these roots kind of coming out there, then it's probably already filled up the pot and it's kind of busting out. So those are your 2 signs that it's time to repot your Boston Fern. Quick tip. Okay, let's get going on to step number 1. Step 1 is you want to soak your root ball. Okay, it is super hard to repot plants when they're really dry. So I'm just going to grab my water over here and give this guy a nice little soak. You want to see the water running out the bottom of the pot as long as you have good drainage, which you should. You should have good drainage, and just let it kind of drip dry for about 15 minutes or so. Step 2. Okay, so for this step, you are going to be removing from the pot and then loosening up the soil. So to do this, we're just going to move it over and we're going to kind of smash the sides of the pot a little bit. That'll help loosen it up, and then just kind of let gravity pull it out. If your plant is not coming out of the pot very easily, then I would suggest that you soak it for longer, because it's probably just dry, or it's extremely root bound, in which case I've seen some people have to cut the pot off of their plant. Let's hope that's not you. So now that we have it out of the pot, we're going to loosen up the roots. It's kind of like a massage. That's what I've heard it being described as. You massage the roots to just kind of work around, and it might be stiff, like mine's got a lot of roots in here, so it's going to be pretty stiff. You just kind of work your way around. Now it is time to divide if necessary. Now, I am going to actually skip ahead to step number 4 for those of you who aren't going to be dividing your plant. If you're not dividing, then this is a step where you're just going to be repotting your fern. So I've got my pot here, and I'm going to put a little bit of soil in the bottom and under here too. I'm just going to drop it in, and that's a little too low. Drop it in. So then from here, I'm just going to move the fronds away and just fill in the rest of the dirt. Okay, and then I'll just start packing it down as I go. I'm not going to show you this whole thing because, like I said, I'm going to be dividing mine. So you just fill it in, pack it down, and then you are ready to move on to step 5. Okay, but for those of us who are dividing our ferns, we're going to go back. Step 3, here it comes. Step 3, going back, we are now dividing my plant. For ferns, it's kind of difficult. With a lot of plant division, you can just rip them apart. But with ferns, they have so many roots and they're all actually all connected. So for ferns, you actually just cut them in half or cut them in thirds or quarters, however many you want. So I want 2, and I'm going to be cutting this guy in half. So for this, use a serrated knife. It works much better than just one of the straight knives. I'm not sure what those are called, but serrated with the little edges, and those work. Or if you're all fancy, I have this pruning saw, which is kind of a short little saw meant for more of these types of things. Just be careful, do not cut yourself. That's another quick tip of the day. Do not cut yourself. That would not be good. Okay, guys, in the comments, I want you to tell me that you did not cut yourself. Okay, thank you. So here we go. So I'm just gonna take this guy and just start cutting. Oh, yeah, so I had one half that wasn't filled in as much. I want to cut it through that half. So I'm gonna go more through here. Just go straight through the root ball. My table here. Okay, so cut back. Okay, whoops. You will have a couple fronds that you lose to this, but overall, I think I did a pretty good job. Here is my fern number 1, fern number 2. Perfect. And yes, I did cut through some of them. You will cut through some of them. But you can't really avoid it with ferns. I mean, they're just all connected, so it's very difficult. So here are my ferns, my 2 different ferns. And now we're going to move on to step number 4. We're going to be repotting again, but with 2. So make sure your pots are a little bit smaller. We want just a couple inches bigger than our root ball size. So I'm really not going to be potting it up too much. Because of that. Okay, so here I've got kind of a smaller pot. Just gonna stick it in. I'm gonna kind of try to round it out a little bit more. A little bit more. Got some dead stuff. I'll trim that off later. Common problem with ferns, especially indoors. Okay, round it out a little. Now I'm gonna start filling it in. Okay, so we have finally reached step number 5, and you're probably like, oh my goodness, we're done already, right? That is not it. We have one more step. Okay, step number 5 is you need to take extra special care of your ferns for the next couple of days. So they just went through a lot. I mean, a lot of them had roots sawn in half. They've been pulled and torn and all this stuff. So while they are kind of recovering a little bit for the next couple of days, they're going to be sealing off their root systems where they've been cut and damaged. So make sure not to put this back into direct sunlight if you had it in there before. Just kind of baby it a little. Keep it a little moist, not too wet. Don't overwater it, especially right now. But on the flip side, don't just be like, it's done, leave it, right? So take extra special care of it over the next couple of days. Okay, and for all of this, as well as some extra tips like what type of pots do ferns like, what type of soil do they like, those types of things, I have them in my blog post. You can read those. I left a link to them in the comments below, and then they will thank you. And speaking of thanking you, if you like this video, hit a the thumbs up, hit a like, hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe if you want to see more plant tips that are awesome. It'll keep your plants alive, and it'll be great. Dirt on my hand. Color on my forehead. Okay.